morning, friends. I popped on a little bit early just because I was ready to go. So I'll just give you guys a couple seconds here to jump on. Get my computer up so that way if you guys have any comments or questions, hopefully I can answer them for you. Otherwise, if I don't get to your comments or questions in the video, I can definitely go back and respond. I also just wanted to let you know if anyone else wants to chime in on the comments or has ideas or has a product that they've used that they love, I just wanted to say to go ahead and do that. That is totally fine with me because I'm not a plant expert. I just have a lot of plants here. Does this look like a happy space or what? Like I sat down and I looked in the camera and I was like, this is the most beautiful video I've ever done. It's so pretty. I have like a pile of plants in front of me. It's amazing. So let me just pop this on quick and then we'll get started. I don't want to take too much of your time. I kind of am gearing this video towards beginners. Most of the questions that people were commenting on my previous posts were more like geared towards beginners. A lot of people feel like they have killed a lot of plants, so they just don't want to have any more plants, or they had questions about like some lower light plants that would be good for places that don't get a lot of sun. A lot of questions about bugs on your plants. I'm going to go over all of that today. So it's kind of a beginner class, but also if you're not a beginner, you could probably learn some things too. Let's see. Pull this up here. Are we good? Sorry, just give me 1 second. Hi, Christy. Hi, Annalise. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, if you guys are on, just please say hi. Let me know that you're watching. Comment, share, all those fun things. I'm having some technical trouble with my laptop, so hold on. And then we'll get started. This is why I popped on a couple minutes early, because of this. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Now I can see your comments. Okay, hey Lisa, hey Linda, thank you guys for coming on. Okay, we're gonna get started because I know you guys have other things to do. It's a beautiful day here in Omaha. The sun's finally shining, so I'm super excited about that. I know you guys are probably thrilled too. We've had like a lot of cloudy days in a row, so today's sunny. We're all happy about that. Okay, so like I said, I kind of just went over what I'm gonna talk about this morning. First of all, I just wanted to say that when I go into people's homes and help them in their homes, which is something that I also offer as a service through my business, one of the #1 things I always tell people is that they need more plants in their home, because there's just something about having live plants in your home that makes your home feel happier. It feels alive. There are multiple benefits of houseplants in your home. Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for saying hi. So plants are alive. They're breathing, they're absorbing toxins, they're putting out oxygen into your air. They're fantastic for your space, and they just lift your mood. They make you feel good. They make you feel happy. And there's nothing better in your home decor than having the vibrant colors of green and the liveness and the texture and the color. Plants just add so much goodness to your home decor. So if you don't have live plants, I just really would highly recommend that you just get started somewhere, and hopefully this video will help you today, because I'm just going to go over 5 like really basic, easy house plants, plants that are really hard to kill and that don't need a ton of light. So I'm going to go over all that with you. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the benefits, which I just kind of talked about. I'm going to go over a few tips for houseplants first before I get into these plants. So one of the #1 things I usually see with people having issues with their plants, it's not always so much like, oh, you would think like, oh, I forgot to water my plants for 5 weeks and then it died. That would also cause it to die if you didn't water it for that long. But more of the problem that I see is people are overwatering their plants. So people are so nervous that they're not going to water their plants enough that they end up overwatering. And when you're overwatering your plants, that can lead to a whole nother slew of problems like root rot, which can cause damage. You can get bugs on your plants. A lot of people had commented about those little gnats that fly around your plants. So a lot of times the reason that happens is overwatering. Same with like yellowing leaves. Someone had commented about yellowing leaves. So yellowing leaves is an indication of usually overwatering or underwatering. So you just need to find like the sweet spot for your plants. But as far as watering goes, some need more, some need less. But I would say that the majority of the times the issues are stemming from people just drenching their plants with water. They're watering it too often and they're watering too much. So your plants don't need to be like totally drowned with water every time you water it. Make sure that your pots have good drainage, so you don't want any kind of water sitting at the bottom of your plants that will cause root rot. So you want to make sure all your plant pots have holes at the bottom so that water can drain. But honestly, like you really shouldn't be getting like huge puddles of water. Like if you have like a plant tray underneath your plant, you really don't need to be planting your plants enough to where it's like filling the tray of water underneath. So most plants don't need that much. So I like to say water maybe like every 10 days. So that's about a week and a half. Some plants will need a little bit more and some plants will need less. So another thing that I wanted to say is that if you're a new plant person and you don't have a lot of plants, don't go out and buy like 10 new plants and bring them home and be like, I'm a plant lady now. Like I got all these plants, I'm so excited. Because all plants are so different. They need different types of things. So I would say if you're a newbie, get 1 plant or 2 plants, preferably one of the ones I'm going to talk about today because they're the easiest. And make sure you have a good place to put it before you bring it home. So when you're going out plant shopping, know where you have in mind for a plant. Like you're like, okay, I have a floating shelf in my living room. I really want a plant that maybe like trails, something that's going to look good in this spot. So I need to know what kind of light it has. So watch your light. Does it get full sun all day? Is it partly shady? Like just know your space before you're bringing a plant into your space. And just sometimes people just go out and they pick a plant and they put it in a spot and then they're like, it died, I don't know why it died. So just know the kind of plant, know the space, know the light that you're bringing it into. Don't just bring like random plants home and just plop them in a space and expect them to live, because you just need to be, good morning Amy, be a good plant parent and don't do that. So I was gonna say, just before you go out, don't bring home a ton and just know your space before you bring it in. I wanted to also let you know that at the end of this, I'm gonna post a link for you guys to download a PDF. Just, you can go ahead and like screenshot it on your phone. It has all these tips that I'm giving you are in it. It also has the top 5 plants that I'm going to talk about, the names of them. That way, if you do want to go out plant shopping, you have them right there on your phone with you. So I'll post that link here in a minute, or Lisa, if you want to post it for me, you can do that too. Okay, so that's another tip I wanted to talk about. The other thing is, don't feel sad if you've killed plants. Do you know how many plants that I've killed like in my plant days? Like I've killed a lot of plants, and for me, I look at it as I'm just learning, and everybody goes through a learning curve and you have to start somewhere. So if you've killed plants in the past, don't be too hard on yourself. I've killed tons of plants in my plant journey. So you just learn and you're like, okay, like why did that plant die? What were the signs of it? What was it doing? A lot of times I say give your plant a week when you bring it home, put it in its spot, kind of watch it, let it get acclimated to its space, to its new light conditions, watch the leaves to see if you have any like wilting, or like sometimes the leaves can kind of look like just a little bit drained, like sad, droopy. See if it's starting to get any brown on the edges. Usually browned edges means that it's getting burnt, so it's getting too much sun. So just kind of watch it and see. You'll kind of know. And all these plants that I'm going to talk about today are, like I said, they're beginner plants, and they will let you know what they need. So it's just kind of an interesting thing. Like you'll kind of look at it one day and it will look a little bit sad, and you're like, okay, like he maybe needs watered a little bit sooner than I thought, or you know what I mean? So you just have to get to know your space, get to know your plants. But everything I'm going to talk about coming up is going to be super easy. So, oh, Emily says she killed her jade plant. Yeah, I have a couple jade plants. Jade plants like full bright sun. Most all succulents, which is, I have a hard time with succulents. I don't consider them easy plants like a lot of people do. They like humid conditions, hot, they like really direct sun. So unless you have a really sunny windowsill or something that gets full sun all day, succulents are not super easy to keep alive. So don't be discouraged if you've killed some succulents in your life. Okay, cool. The first plant I'm going to talk about today is the ZZ plant. This is one of my favorite plants, super easy. It's a beautiful color. It has like big sprouting out, it's just really gorgeous. It takes up a lot of space. They get big, they grow easily. It's a ZZ plant. So if, like I said, if you're taking notes, you can write that down, or you can sign up and get the PDF and just screenshot all this information to your phone in a little picture. It's super cute little picture you can have to bring with you. But the ZZ plant's easy. You just put it in, it doesn't like a ton of light. The leaves will burn if you put it in a ton of light. So those of you who are asking for a low light plant, this is a really good low light plant. As far as like shade, no, all plants need a little bit of sun. So you can't put a plant in a bathroom that doesn't have a window or a room that doesn't have a window. All plants need some sun. So this plant is a really good option though for that spot that you're like, oh, I just have, like, I feel like there's no plant that likes it there. Like it just isn't, like no plant is happy there. The ZZ plant is a good option because it pretty much likes, I kind of like to put these like in the corner of my rooms, like away from the window. So I have a few of these on the opposite side of my room, far away from the window. It gets just a little bit of light, but as you can see, he's perfectly happy and loving life. So this is a really good one for not a lot of light. So the ZZ plant. So that's the first one I was going to chat about. Second one I'm going to chat about is the snake plant. This is another one that doesn't like a ton of light, but it can tolerate a little bit more light if you need it to have a little bit of a sunnier space. So these are really fantastic for places that you need height. So if you're looking for like styling a shelf, or you have a table that you feel like is against the wall, the wall's a little sparse, this takes up like some great height and they just continue to keep growing tall. This is also in the corner of my house on the other side of my room from the windows. So this doesn't need a lot of light, and they're virtually impossible to kill. So unless it's getting too hot, you'll be able to see that it will start to, you'll know, like the leaves will start to look kind of like wrinkled and sad. Just watch your plants and just look at them and know, you'll be able to tell if something's wrong and if they need to either be moved or need more water, less water. You can't kill a snake plant. So if you're worried about killing a plant, bring it home, get a snake plant, and you'll be happy with that. Okay. Let me see, make sure. That's okay if you guys are late. I know, Cecily, isn't this a fun space? She said it makes her happy to see all this green. Me too. I was actually gathering these plants from just different places in my house, and I took a lot from the living room, and I was walking by last night and I told my husband, I was like, this living room feels really sad without all these plants. It just like, plants just bring such life and happiness to your space. So it was like really sad not seeing all my plants down there. So especially for times that we're in right now, plants are super helpful just to bring a little bit of joy to your home since we're all at home a lot lately. Okay, so the third plant I'm going to talk about is the pothos. I know everybody loves the pothos. These come in lots of different varieties. They're one of the most easiest plants. All these plants are the most easiest plants. So I'm going over 5 of them if you guys are just popping in. All these plants are perfect for beginners. So this is the pothos. This is great for up on a shelf. They trail, they dangle over, they like medium light to not a lot of light to a little bit of more light. So they're not super particular, but you will notice pretty quickly if your plant is not happy, your pothos is not happy, because the leaves will get droopy, they will start curling up. I only water my pothos maybe like once every 10 days, and your pothos will communicate with you very well. It will let you know when it needs to be watered. The leaves all start sagging and drooping a little bit, and you're like, oh, I need to water you, and you'll water it, and then an hour later it's just like perked back up and happy as can be. So that's like why I say just watch your plants and know. So the pothos is really really easy. The color is fantastic, great for hanging planters, great for shelves just because of the trailing tendency on these. Another fantastic thing about pothos, which a lot of plants can be propagated, and propagating means that you just cut off a little edge of your plant and stick it in a glass of water, and it will actually grow roots and you can replant it, so it's like a little baby from the mama plant. Pothos are really fantastic for propagating, for one, but propagated plants are really fantastic for spots in your home where you feel like you need a little bit of green, but it maybe doesn't get enough sun for like a full plant, or maybe it's just a small spot, or maybe it's like a thin shelf, something where you would love to put like a big giant plant, but or you would like to put some sort of green, but maybe it doesn't have the space. And I wanted to just show you a propagated plant because it's so great for like shelf styling, or like I said, anywhere small where you need to add a little bit of green. So this is a propagated pothos. So the plant that I just showed you, basically all that I did was clip off a little piece of its dangle, and I stuck it in water, and this guy has been in the water for a while, so he probably needs to be put in a pot. But you can see all of the roots that have grown off of him, and they live perfectly like this, so they really are happy like this. So I actually have this on a floating shelf in my living room, and it's just small enough to where it doesn't take up a lot of room. They don't like a whole lot of light. Propagated plants typically don't like to be full sunny, so you can kind of stick them in more of a shady spot too. So really, really cute for stuff like that. So I wanted to tell you about that too, because it's something that a lot of people don't realize that they can do with their plants. Propagating a pothos is really good for the plant too. It helps regenerate new growth. And it helps if you ever have like too long of a dangle on your pothos and maybe it's starting to bump into something below it. You can always clip it off and propagate it, and it's good for the plant, so don't worry about hurting it, especially a pothos. So I want to make sure that I see. How do you remember when it's watering day on your calendar, or do you just know? Someone asked. So if you're a newbie plant person, I like to say pick a day. So water Wednesday, soak it Saturday, whatever day you want to do. Everyone has different days that they like. But like I said, sometimes watering every week tends to be a little bit too much, and people accidentally overwater their plants, and then you get bugs and stuff like that. I am going to talk about bugs here in a little bit. I have 2 more plants to talk about, and then I'm going to talk about bugs because a lot of people asked about that. The next thing that I talked, so anyways, going back to that question though, is all plants need a little bit of a different thing. If you're new and you're bringing 1 or 2 plants home, stick with once a week. Just don't overwater, don't drench, don't make your dirt super soppy and soaky. Just give it a little bit of water, give it a little drink. You run into more problems when you start getting bugs and root rot. So I would say just water a little bit less and kind of grow your watering, if that makes sense. So the next plant after the pothos is the spider plant. Spider plants are super easy. This is actually a baby spider plant. It doesn't have any little spiders coming off of it. So spider plants, you'll see them typically, they have little like roots coming off with like another ball of a plant at the bottom. So that's how people kind of know spider plants. They're fantastic for plant hangers because they have a trailing tendency as well. These are really easy, guys. You'll know quickly if they like their spot because they get new growth really fast. It will just start shooting out the top. And like I said, this was just a little baby guy the other day. Like I haven't had him for too long and he's already getting nice and big and floppy. So spider plants do like sun, but not a ton of sun. So they'd be great in a window that doesn't get full sun, or like on a table in the middle of the room that just gets like partial sun. Like I said, watch your plants, see how they're looking in a week after you've put them in their new home, and just watch them to make sure if it doesn't like its spot, it'll tell you, and you'll be able to put it somewhere else and try a different spot. And as long as you're not overwatering or underwatering, I think that you'll be good. So this is another super easy one, the spider plant. And then the last one, so most of these that I've already talked about, because a lot of you guys were asking about low light plants. Most of these that I've talked about are low to medium light, don't need a lot of sun. I did want to pull out one easy plant though that does like a lot of sun, in case you're looking for something that needs a lot of sun, and it's also easy, is the Hoya, also known as the wax plant. I'll show it to you quick here. This is kind of a heavy guy. As you can see, I like trailing plants because I love plant hangers and I like to put them on my floating shelves. I think that they're so beautiful. And usually trailing plants will always propagate well too, depending on the plants, but most trailers will propagate. So it's kind of fun to snip them if they get too long and put them in a little vessel in water, so it will root up and you can make a new baby plant. So this is a Hoya, also called a wax plant. There's lots of varieties of this plant. So this has like thick waxy leaves, kind of like succulent-y type leaves. It's super hardy. They're very easy. They just do like a lot of sun. So I wanted to throw a full sun plant in here as well, just in case you did have a sunny spot. You wanted an easy sunny spot plant. So this is fantastic. Not a lot of watering for this guy. I probably water him a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks. I would say most of my plants get watered every 10 days or more, unless it's a specific plant that I know needs watered more. But then you're kind of getting into the more difficult plants. So, and I was gonna tell you guys, as beginners, don't bring home like any difficult plants. Stick with these 5 and you'll have good luck. When you start bringing home like fiddle leaf figs and really finicky plants that that you're not really sure how it's going to respond in your space, or you're not really experienced in plants, it's kind of discouraging when you bring something home and it ends up dying, and then you're kind of like, oh well, I stink at taking care of plants, so I'm not going to get any more. So that's why I wanted to show you these 5, just to, hey, I know, Susan, Hoya always makes me think of you, because I don't know why, because I think we both liked him at Hay Needle. So thanks for coming on and saying hi. Okay, so those are my 5 plants. I'm gonna say them again if you guys are taking notes, or Lisa, I think, posted the link, or I'll post a link for you. We made you a PDF that you can just download right to your phone, screenshot it, bring it with you to the nursery, and pick out a plant to bring home or 2. Don't overload yourself though. So first was the ZZ plant here. Super good, low light, easy. Second was the snake plant here. Low light as well, super easy. Low to medium light, easy. Can't kill that guy. Pothos was my 3rd one here. Super easy trailing plant. The spider plant here. The Hoya that I just showed you, and then we talked a little bit about propagating plants as well for low light, small spaces that you need to put a little guy on. Okay, now, something that you guys were asking me a lot about was bugs. I did address it a little bit before, just usually bugs are caused by overwatering. So I've talked a lot about overwatering your plants and how it just does more damage than good. So I would always err on the side of underwatering a little bit until you know that it needs more. But a lot of times that your roots will get rotten, it will be very wet, and you'll get like those fungus gnats. So my thing is, once you've gotten the gnats, it's really hard to get rid of them. So I say prevent the gnats in the first place. So hopefully this will help you guys with your new plants preventing. I can talk about a few things you guys can try if you already have gnats, but in my experience, the gnats are really, really hard to get rid of because what they do is they lay eggs. So it's not just the gnats that you're trying to get rid of. They actually like lay eggs, like so the larvae is in your plant and they're making babies and you have to kill the eggs and it's gross. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was my Thieves household cleaner. So this is Young Living Thieves. It's a concentrate. So you actually only mix 1 capful of this in your spray bottle. So you have your spray bottle, label it so you know what it is. If you have multiple, you put a capful of Thieves into your bottle, fill the rest with water. This is a natural, it's an essential oil blend that you just mix with water. It's a really good household cleaner, but it's also fantastic for your plants. And the Thieves will, I'm not positive that it will get rid of your gnats, but what it will do is prevent your gnats from coming. So this is a fantastic product for so many things in your home, but especially for your plants. It's great for your leaves, it's great for the soil, great for the dirt, all of that. So I was gonna talk to you guys about this because I feel like this is one of my secret weapons when it comes to plants. So if you have questions about the Thieves, you can message me or comment below and I can send you a message about Thieves. So basically maybe like once, you could even do this every day, it's not gonna hurt. I probably do like every other day, every couple days, just kind of when I think of it. But I'll go around and I'll literally, I better cover my coffee. I'll just like literally like mist all my plants. They love this, their leaves love it. And then also like just like down in the dirt, I know you guys can't really see, but you get the idea. You just like get your spray bottle down in the dirt and just mist its dirt. You don't even have to wipe your leaves on your plants. Just let that water soak in. It cleans your leaves. It makes your leaves really shiny. Your plants love it. It makes them very happy. And then your soil, it makes the soil and your plants very happy as well. So it's a great preventative for gnats. If you already have gnats or bugs flying on your plant, you might need something a little bit stronger. I use this neem oil extract. Show it to you here. This is an organic gardening solution. I am more of an organic home person. I don't like a lot of chemicals on my stuff, and I especially don't like to spray or use a lot of chemically type stuff on my plants. So I've also used hydrogen peroxide before for gnats on my plants without a ton of luck. Somebody recommended the mosquito bits. I've never actually used those, but I heard that the mosquito bits do work, but the back of it is a little bit scary. When I was reading the stuff on the back, it just you know, says caution, keep away from, you know, all the babies and kids, and I just don't like to use that kind of stuff. So try the neem oil. This is the concentrate. You can actually buy it already mixed and in the spray bottle, but this is the concentrate if you want to make your own. I also use this for outdoor gardening, so I use the concentrate because then I can just fill my sprayer. But you can fill up a spray bottle with this and just spray it on the dirt, the soil, to try to get rid of the bugs. And like I said, you're not only killing the bugs, but you're killing the eggs and the larvae too. So you want to make sure that you're like doing it multiple times. One treatment is not going to solve the problem. So yeah, so you're gonna have to do it for maybe a week or so to make sure you get the cycle of all the babies and the eggs and the moms and all that. But like I said, Thieves, Young Living Thieves, the concentrate is fantastic for preventative stuff as far as bugs go. So I would just say when you bring your plants home, start spraying it with Thieves immediately, and don't overwater, and you should be good to go. So when you have bugs, I hate to say your plant is too far gone, but it's not too far gone, but you know what I mean. So I try to use the organic solution first, try some neem oil, try some Thieves, and then maybe go from there and see. I also wanted to talk a little bit about fertilizing. A couple people asked me about fertilizing their houseplants. I was going to show you this Miracle Grow I don't actually fertilize my plants a ton. I feel like the Thieves is like fantastic for just keeping my plants healthy and happy. Once a month or so, I will actually put this is just a pump foam indoor plant food. I actually put it in my watering can. They say on the directions of this to pump it in the soil and then water, but I feel like that's a little overboard for what I like to do. So I just like to put a couple pumps in my watering can, swish it around a little bit, and then I'll go around and water like just whenever I think of it. I don't have like a real schedule for my fertilizing because like I said, I don't feel like my plants need a ton of fertilization because I think the Thieves is fantastic for it, and the watering and the light that it needs. That's all that it needs. So what else? So since we're talking about these watering cans, these are really inexpensive. They're like $2 at wherever you can find plants. I would say grab like a few of these if you have multiple plants in your home and in different spaces of your home. I keep one of these under the sink in my kitchen. I keep one in my laundry room, and I keep one upstairs. So I just kind of a reminder for me to water my plants. So if you don't have an indoor watering can, it's a good investment, and it's also a good reminder to water your plants if you have it somewhere where you can see it, or under the sink that you're opening often. So just a good idea to kind of remind you on that. So I just want to make sure, I see that it's a lot of comments. Yes, the Thieves is chemical free. It's natural cleaning in your home. I know a lot of people on here like that, like Young Living, like Norwex, like organic, natural cleaning in your home. So the Thieves is a fantastic product for more than just your plants. It's for all parts of your house. I use it for so many different things. Let's see. I may have to just go back and look at your comments and yes. Put a dish under your plants. Where's your favorite place to shop for plants? So I love Mulhall's. Mulhall's is the best place for indoor plants in Omaha, in my opinion. But that is not to say that Lowe's does not have a fantastic selection also, or places like that. So I've gotten some really beautiful plants at Lowe's. I've gotten some really beautiful plants at Mulhall's and at Lanahaw here in Omaha. So your specialty nurseries, the difference is that they're going to have a little bit more of a selection for you. So Lowe's is kind of hit or miss. You're going to go in. Sometimes they have a big selection. Sometimes they have a little selection. Sometimes you can find something great. Sometimes everything on their shelf looks like it's half dead, so stay away from that. But Mulhall's and Lanahaw here in Omaha are fantastic for indoor plants. Their selection is beautiful, and you can always find something. So as long as you have this list, I think my biggest thing for new plant people is don't go into Mulhall's and say, I love that plant. I'm bringing it home because I love how it looks. I think eventually you can get to that point, but as a beginner, like, you want to succeed and you want to know where your plant's going to go in your home. You want to know what kind of light it's going to get in that spot, and you want to bring home a plant that's going to be happy in its space. So kind of go with something in mind. Download the PDF that I made for you guys, screenshot it on your phone, bring it to the nursery, show the people at the nursery. They're so knowledgeable. Be like, can I see where these are? And they will help you. So, and also the other cool thing about all these plants is that there's varieties of all these plants. So this is what my pothos looks like here, but there's multiple different varieties of pothos. Some have really lime green leaves, some are variegated, some, they're just all different. Snake plants, they all look a little bit different coloring. So you can still choose something that's your favorite out of the easy house plants. So just make sure you start with something that you know will be good for your space, like I said, and that you'll be successful with, because that's going to make you want more, and you'll be confident in it, and you won't be like, oh, you'd be surprised at how often I hear people say, oh, all I do is just kill house plants. And I'm like, well, you're getting the wrong houseplants then, or you're putting them in the wrong spot, or like we all know that we want houseplants in our home. Like, they make us happy, they lift our mood, they're good for our air, all that stuff. So just find the right plant for your home. All these plants are easy as long as they're in the right spot. That's all that it is. So make sure you're watching your light, make sure you know your house, what kind of light it's getting, and you're getting a plant to be good for that spot. So what else? People love neem oil. Leah likes Mulhall's. It's her happy place. Me too. Thieves smells amazing. Everyone likes Thieves. I know, me too, me too. Good. Okay, well, I'm gonna pop off here because I don't want to take any more of your time. Make sure you go to the link and get that PDF. I'll also send you guys this recording so that you have the recording if you want to look back at it or if you want to share it with a friend or whatever. But yeah, make sure you go and get that download because that will really help when you're out shopping for plants and just a good little quick reference for you. But other than that, if you have any questions, like I said, about the Thieves concentrate, I can help you with that. Or any questions at all. I don't know everything, but I can try to help or I can guide you to Google. And Google is always great too. So don't be afraid to Google stuff about your plants and just learn about what they like and all that. So I hope you guys have a good sunny day, and I'm excited to be on here chatting with you. I haven't been on since I think my baby's been born in October, so he's doing fantastic and super adorable and cute. I've been starting to do a little bit more furniture, so if you have any furniture questions, please contact me, or if you need something refinished, if you're local here in Omaha, contact me. I'd love to help you. Other than that, oh, Susan, I miss you. I miss you guys. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, you guys, for popping on, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.